All right, welcome to today's webinar. We are going to be talking about InTune today, and we are going to keep this short and sweet. I love InTune essential oil. When it came out at convention, let's see, was that 2 years ago? They had a special day with Dr. Hill where they introduced and talked about a few oils, and one of them was InTune. And so I got to sit at this presentation with Dr. Hill, and if you've heard anything from him, you know he's a very intelligent man, and he has a great way of explaining, all the chemistry and all these details and important things about the oils in a way that we can actually understand. Now, he had all this really cool, software, so he could show us these models of, the human brain and how, things that are a little bit off if we're having trouble focusing or whatnot. And he showed how the InTune essential oil is such a great and powerful blend to help with focus. I'm not going to go over all that chemistry today. I can't teach it like Dr. Hill. But my point is that when I was sitting in that presentation with him, I just learned how amazing this oil is. And I've been using it ever since and been really excited about the results that I personally have experienced. And then also being able to share this with so many different people from little kids all the way up to really elderly people. Everyone can benefit from InTune. And I just love it. It's often one that I use kind of at back to school time when I first learned about it, because it's great to help focus the mind. But there really are so many other ways we can use it too. And so we're going to talk about that today. So the main purpose of InTune, it helps to restore our focus, keep us on task, provide mental clarity, alertness, and clear our thoughts. And it really just enhances our focus and it supports a healthy thought process. And for me, I really like how it just helps me, whether the task is, something fun that we're wanting to do or something that maybe we're dreading a little bit. It just helps me put my mind to it and get through it. And you can see here in that picture, it comes in the really convenient roll-on bottle, which I love. I love when the oils are in these. Oftentimes when I'll make put all my oils into roll-on bottles, because then it just makes it really easy to use. But if you have yours, I always recommend smelling it while we talk about it. I always have to hold mine. I can't talk about the oil without smelling it. But I love it and I use it all the time. In fact, I carry this around in my purse with me all the time, whether for me or for my kids. I've got 3 little kids, and I just love how it's just calming and soothing and can help us kind of stay on task. Now with InTune, we're going to break down, it is a blend. We're going to break down and talk about what is in this blend. So there's amyris, patchouli, frankincense, lime, ylang ylang, sandalwood, and Roman chamomile. And then we're just going to go a little step further and talk about each of these oils. Some of them we're familiar with, and other ones aren't sold, as single oil blends with doTERRA. So we're just going to chat about that. So we have the sandalwood, frankincense, and lime. They're targeted towards helping with our focus and our clarity. So that's the aspect that they contribute to with this focus blend. And then the amyris, patchouli, ylang ylang, and Roman chamomile, they're the really calming and soothing, which that makes sense to me. If you've used the Roman chamomile, the ylang ylang, the patchouli, those are very calming and soothing oils. Now, individually, this amyris oil, it's West Indian sandalwood. And so we can kind of relate to, what sandalwood is like. But this oil, just a second, move this around. Okay, so it has a lot of antiseptic and sedative properties, and this oil in particular is used to really enhance the synergy of oil. So you'll see it in a few other blends. It just kind of helps all the oils that are in a blend work better together. Patchouli is such a great oil, and we do have that one individually with doTERRA. It's a harmonizing, grounding, and stabilizing blend or oil. It stabilizes the mind. We also know patchouli. It's an aphrodisiac and antidepressant oil. So the qualities of that, when they combine with the other oils, really allow for release of creative thinking and clarity, which is great if we're thinking about having this as a focus blend. Then we want to be able to have those creative juices flowing. Frankincense. I love frankincense, and we know that frankincense is such an amazing, powerful oil. And there's a lot of information out there about, all the things that frankincense can do for us. In this blend in particular, some things that are important to note is frankincense has a wonderful ability to really slow and deepen our breathing, which is great. Again, if we're trying to focus on a task and complete a task and stay clear about what we're doing, we're going to want that. Then also, it lessens feelings of fear, anxiety, and stress. Now, we know there's all these other amazing things about frankincense, that it can cross the blood-brain barrier, and what it does for our oxygen and all of our cells. And when in doubt, use frankincense. It's always going to be a benefit to our body. But for this blend in particular, we're really relying on its ability to just slow down our breathing and to help with fear and anxiety and stress. All right, lime oil. Lime oil, I think, sometimes gets overlooked. It's such an amazing oil. It smells amazing, but it's calming. It relieves stress, and it's also really energizing. And depending on the day, and I guess probably what my needs are, I don't know, but when I use my InTune oil, sometimes I can really smell that lime. Other times it's not quite as strong, but sometimes like today when I'm smelling my bottle, I can really pick up that lime oil in there this time. It smells really good. Okay, ylang ylang. This one is great for, and it's written right on there, just minimizing frustration, anger, and fear. And this one really, again, helps us to get those creative juices flowing and to be able to feel really peaceful, have a feeling of serenity. So our brain and our mind is calm, and so we can focus on the task at hand. Hawaiian sandalwood. This is, antidepressive, antifungal, anti-inflammatory. There's so many great aspects to the sandalwood and what we can use it for. It's an oxygenator of the brain, and it really calms irritability and frustration that comes along with, having to maybe work on something that's a little bit difficult or overwhelming, or something that helps really calm our mind. Sandalwood is also great for encouraging a good night's sleep, because we can get rid of fears and nervousness that maybe are related to difficulty in sleeping. Then we have Roman chamomile, and this one is just so soothing. It is great. It inspires this can-do attitude, which makes sense within this InTune blend, that we would love that. And then just a few other things about it. It's great for sleep. It's great for restless legs. It's great for nightmares. It's also a real good cleansing oil, blood cleansing. So it's great for liver cleansing. So we can see we've got a lot of powerful oils in this blend that makes up InTune. And, it's not by accident that these oils are together. There's a purpose for that. And, doTERRA and Dr. Hale always takes a look at, the chemistry and how these are going to work together, and make sure that it's really going to accomplish, the end goal, and help us, in this case, with focus. And with InTune, they've really, they've made something great. That really is what the InTune does. Now, how do we apply the InTune? This oil is great to use topically. You can also diffuse it, but topically, along your spine, you have a lot of receptor sites there. So Dr. Hill said to, rub it along the spine, and you can swipe it with the roll-on bottle, and then also just kind of like rub your hand over it. Use a little bit of heat, a little bit of friction to help that just absorb really nicely and quickly. Also the back of the neck, that's where I always use it, because that's really easy for me to just apply to the back of my neck. And I really like the aroma of it. Something about having it on my skin, and I know it's being absorbed and doing its job there, but then the aroma of it just kind of, I think because I've been using it for a while now, when I'm like sitting down to read a book, or sitting down to just, when I need to focus, when I need to create this PowerPoint, for example, I put the InTune on, and the aroma of it is this reminder, like, okay, time to focus, time to, stay on this task till it's complete. So I think that there is a great benefit to being able to smell it. However, some people, particularly kids or teenagers, it is a little bit more, it's a distinct aroma, and it may be a little bit strong for some people. And so putting it on the bottom of your feet is totally fine. Even with a pair of socks on over it, it's totally fine. It's going to be just as effective. And then you don't have to worry about the aroma if that's not something that you really enjoy. Okay. Now, a couple ways to use this, and I said we'd keep it short and sweet, so I'm going to stick to that because it is pretty straightforward. This InTune blend, we use it for focus when we need a focus. Just swiping this on is going to be helpful. These are just a few different specifics, maybe to kind of like give you some ideas if you know people that could really benefit from trying this, or if this is you personally. So, of course, for ADD, ADHD, this is going to be really helpful, and this is something that I've been able to see the InTune oil, really, really bless the lives of people that I love, people that have ADD and ADHD, and some people have been medicated for that for a long time and have worked their way off their medication and use InTune in place of that. And other people, they haven't ever been, treated through medication for it, but they've really struggled to stay focused and struggled at school, struggled with studying, or different things like that. And so just an application of the InTune and using that consistently has been really amazing for them. For teenagers, there was a recommendation to just reapply on the bottom of their feet, to have them swipe it on the bottom of their feet at their lunch break, so that when they get back to school and it's the afternoon and maybe they're feeling kind of sleepy, it'll actually encourage them to participate in class and be able to, focus and be able to really absorb that information. Seniors, these are like elderly people, applying it on the sternum and the back of the neck in an upward motion and doing that each morning. People have reported that they feel like their ability to remember conversations and details have improved. And so I think that that's something that's great, and definitely something that until I read about that, I hadn't really necessarily considered, that for elderly people, but I think that that's something really cool to keep in mind. Autism, diffusing this in the room, whether it be, a bedroom or a classroom, just the aroma of this oil is so great. And then applying on the back of the knees and the back of the neck. This oil is a great one to offer with people suffering from any type of neurological disorders, people with depression, people in transition, moving, or, maybe away from their spouse for a while, or any type of transition period, holiday stress. The InTune is great. I want to just talk about that for just a second. I had a friend once tell me, she uses InTune. She loves it for anxiety and stress and things like that. But I remember I was at a class once, and she said, she was talking to someone about it, and she said, I swear this helps me do my laundry. And, we all got a good laugh about that. But then I was really thinking about how true that is, that we really don't need to limit it to just like, if you've been, if absolutely that you have ADHD, anytime we need to focus on something, this InTune is going to help enhance our ability to do that. And especially if we're putting something off because of overwhelm. So for me, I know sometimes I keep putting off the laundry because it started to get overwhelming. It's starting to pile up. And so I feel overwhelmed. And so the InTune just kind of helps, our mind relax and be at ease. Remember, we've got that frankincense, so it's slowing down our breathing, so we can just kind of calm and see it for what it really is. And then just be able to attack it and accomplish whatever the task is without having the overwhelm. So when we can kind of minimize that feeling of overwhelm, and then have, all the other oils helping us to stay focused and have clarity in what we're wanting to do, that really helps us move forward. So that is great for reading a book and studying and assignments, but it also is great for laundry. A gal the other day said, "Oh, well, I wish it would help me with vacuuming." And I said, "It will." Use this, and it'll help you focus on, whatever task is at hand, especially if you're resisting it. Okay, so you can also use it for signs of dementia and any type of nervous system challenges. This is like strokes, Parkinson's, Tourette's, MS, even lupus. It really calms and sedates the nervous system to a degree that it could even be like a resource for migraines and pain relief. The InTune is just so calming, and you can tell when you try it, when you swipe it on, you can just feel how calming and comforting it really is to your system. This other one, when I read about this, I thought that this was really cool. I didn't know this, but if you know anyone going through chemotherapy, the recommendation is to just inhale it. And what I read was that to have like a Ziploc bag that had cotton balls inside of it that had the InTune oil on it, and then you can just breathe in the aroma from that, and it'll help with the receptivity to the medication. So to really allow the medication to do its job there. And then also with the InTune, really relieving fear and helping calm fear, then our cells can be oxygenated more. That's a tricky word for me. So I love InTune. I think it's just such a powerful oil. I think that this is one that, you know, we have a lot of success stories with, and everyone has their own little story. You know, we have my friend who, it helps her do her laundry, and then I try it for that, and it's true. And then I even have, there's one of my friends, her little boy really struggled with school, and she would he never got to go to recess because he couldn't finish his work, and so she would just the teacher would stay with him, work with him all through recess, and then the mom after school would work with him for hours and hours. Well, she tried a sample of InTune and put it on him before he went to school, and just didn't say anything to the teachers or anything. Well, the little boy got to go to recess for the first time the whole school year after he tried InTune, and he was just so happy. And then she applied some InTune again when he got home, and they got through his homework, his assignments so quickly. And that's something, you know, this mom was definitely that changes her world, you know, changes the world of the little boy. And she looked at me with tears in her eyes. And I think that anyone out there that you know, that has a child, or you know, can relate to loving a child so much, it's definitely a blessing to be able to have an oil to help, you know, help this little boy get to recess and get his assignments done. And he just you know, it really is a blessing. And I was grateful that doTERRA had created this blend so that I could just have her try it. And okay, so that's all of the information I have about InTune. But it is a great oil. Put it on your loyalty rewards if you don't have it yet. You're going to want it. It's not just for back to school. It's great for back to school and when September comes around, but it is great all year long. It's an oil. I literally carry it with me all the time in my purse, and I use it all the time on myself and my kids. And it's an amazing, powerful oil. Thanks for listening in, and I hope everyone has a great day.